What's brewing? What's brewing? What's brewing? This is Sunflower Sage here, okay? And what's freshly brewing is Offset, Celina Powell, Cardi B. It's messy. And it's just so unfortunate. Like, I got so much to say about this. Like, this shit is crazy. I wasn't really expecting this. It's like, damn, 2026 is really kicking off with a lot of heat. You know what I mean? Aside from what's going on politically and socially and spiritually in this world, it's like, my goodness. Where do we get started? I mean, apparently, Celina Powell is still in demand. Like, it don't matter how many men in the industry, particularly black men. I know she has been with other men too, but that's who she tends to patronize or who patronizes her. And yeah, like, they still are going to her, knowing how messy she is, knowing her MO, how she exposes men and blow them up and put all their business out there. And Offset clearly don't got enough money, because I'm assuming she's one of the cheaper girls, because a man who really got money ain't really checking for her like that. Like, yeah, they probably hit it, but she's like the cheap jump off. She's like when your funds is low. And I say that because number one, she's messy. She has a reputation for being messy. Who wants that kind of drama? If you're a man who wants to live a quiet life and cheat in peace, you don't want to bring that into your life. She's just a handful. She's a headache. She's annoying. She's loud. She's everything, right? And honestly, I don't really dislike her in the sense like, she's not doing anything wrong. She's doing what I guess she's supposed to do. These men are dumb. They want to continue to demand her services and whatnot. But I think the crazy part is how you get finessed. Like, you're supposed to be the escort. You're supposed to be the woman getting the money off the dresser. How did you basically got finessed out of $15,000 from Offset? Offset didn't have any money. Offset doesn't have any money like that. Offset is struggling financially. And that hasn't really been a secret, and he has a bad gambling addiction, and that hasn't been a secret either. And I guess it just has gotten worse over time. Like, he hasn't ceased at all or like tried to chill. Like, he's just been going to the casino and gambling. It's like a lot of the men in the industry got that issue, and I would say a lot of black men are having that issue too, who aren't necessarily celebrities, but the sports betting has definitely become a problem for a lot of men. And a lot of black men definitely, on these podcasts and on these platforms and these streamers, they like to advertise these gambling, sports betting companies and services and sites and apps because they get a sponsorship from it. But I think it's irresponsible to advertise that to the public. Me personally, I would never advertise that, because I understand how detrimental gambling can be. Like, it is an addiction, and it really psychologically and financially, emotionally, spiritually, like, it really ruins lives. It really does. Like, there's people who can't keep $1 in their pocket. They're constantly spending at the casino, or I feel like nowadays a lot of people got a shopping addiction too, but that's a whole nother story. We got Credit Karma and all this stuff where you could pay it off later, and it's like a lot of us are digging ourselves into debt. And the way how things is going in this country, you might want to pull back. But yeah, he's been in that contract with is it QP or QC? And I mean, my thing is, I don't understand what is it that a lot of these artists aren't understanding. You're signing contracts that aren't any good. Are you even taking the time to read anything? Or you just excited at the fact that they said that they were going to give you X amount of dollars up front? There's always a catch. I already told y'all a lot of these celebrities don't got no money. I already told you the industry, these celebrities, they don't own that money. They have handlers. They're owned by people. They have investors who basically pay them. But if they decide that they don't want to pay them anymore, or they stop paying them as much as they used to, because in the contract they didn't read the contract, and they didn't read what will actually entail. And so they start receiving less money, and they're like, hey, what's going on? Why are you not giving me enough, as much money as before? And they're going to be like, hey, it says in the contract, you should go take a look at it. Then they go and look, and they're like, oh, shit. Yeah. A lot of people get so overjoyed by the fact that they're being accepted into the industry. They don't take the time to understand the legalities behind a lot of the terms and the binding terms in the contract. You need a lawyer. You need someone that can break it down in layman terms and decipher what the hell it says before you put your name on that line and the ink dries. Because you will end up like these celebrities, broke. They don't have ownership of their money. They don't own their finances. They don't. And we're now seeing that as we approach into the age of Aquarius, a lot of the celebrity aesthetic is a facade. Like, these people are just regular people. They're owned by investors and labels and handlers and whatnot. And it's really not the lifestyle that you think it is. And Offset is over there, and he's learning. And it got me thinking, like, I don't know. I feel like ever since Takeoff passed away, things have just been downhill. Things have been downhill. You don't see you don't think that's kind of strange, And Offset isn't necessarily a good person either. There's a lot about him. And, allegedly, pimping out women and, abusing women and stuff like that. And God knows what Cardi B been through. But he is not husband material. He's not dating material. He's no kind of material. Like, that's not someone you had children with. For real, for real. And look what this embarrassment he brought on himself. And now Cardi B is like, people are like, okay, it's been 48 hours. Are you going to say anything? Celina Powell's out here putting everything on blast on how she ate his booty hole. Like, ew. Like, the fact that men still want to be up under her, and it really is really starting to become even more apparent that there's something more to it as to why they keep sleeping with the same people and why she still is in high demand. Like, people say a lot of these celebrities are sharing the same incurable diseases. And it's starting to really feel like that, because it's like, why her? He couldn't afford his usual girls or whatnot. Like, and you over here borrowing money from $15,000, and he didn't give her back her money. And I think that's why she's going off and going on podcasts and exposing him. And he deserves it, because it's like, you need to get your shit together. Like, you have no discipline. You're smoking, you're drinking, you're gambling, you're having reckless sex with different women, even when you were married. Like, you're irresponsible and you have serious addictions. You have a sex demon on you, and you have a gambling demon on you. You need to go get purified. But, man, like, Cardi B definitely made the right decision to leave him. For her to leave, she left because he was playing with her money. She wasn't going to risk going broke just to stay in a marriage with Offset, because he really wasn't adding anything to the relationship anyways. Like, she's the celebrity, she's the artist, she's the star in that relationship. She's the breadwinner. What money is he bringing in? Like, he's not the star. People know more about him and of him because of her. Let's be clear. And she got away. That's why she went through this divorce. But it's like, she done had that baby with Stephon Diggs, and you're still married. And Celina Powell said that he was pillow talking, also was pillow talking with her, and said that basically Stephon Diggs walked out of the hospital upset because the doctors or whoever at the hospital were like, it's either you have to sign, um, or Offset has to sign, because legally you're still married to Offset. Stefan Diggs cannot sign that birth certificate. Like, whose last name is the baby gonna get? I believe that was what was said in the hospital to Cardi B. And I think, like, legally, like, when you're married, that's how it goes, which is just crazy. It's like, damn, how did you get yourself into this situation, Cardi? How did you get pregnant during the separation process between you and Offset? Like, you didn't know the stipulations that comes with being married and then getting pregnant with someone else's baby, and how that can affect you. It's the same thing like when you get married to someone and then they have like debt, and maybe they're on child support. Your checks could be garnished as a result of being married to someone that has debts, or who is legal, obviously financially responsible to take care of a child. So this shit is crazy. I mean, now Offset is threatening her and stuff like that, Celina Powell, and it's like, girl, I mean, is she wrong for exposing him? I don't think so, but it's like, this is the antics that she, like, why did you even give him the $15,000? I think she just did this just so that she could expose him and have something to talk about, for real. Like, this is up in her clout. Even though it's kind of like an L, because, like, girl, you're supposed to be the hoe getting the money. Why is he getting money from you? And he's supposed to be paying you, not you paying him or giving him money. And also, he was threatening to harm Stefan Diggs. Like, this man must be on some drugs, because why is he even confiding in her? And then also incriminating himself by threatening another person. Like, that definitely can result in something legally being taken up against him, because he said that he was gonna strip Stefan Diggs and take his jewelry and money or whatever that he have on him, and also pow him in the kneecap. Like, he sound crazy, he sound jealous, he sound delirious. Go get your life together. Like, he is really salty and down bad. Like, have you ever dealt with an insecure man who is down bad in life? Money fucked up and everything. Like, money is something that a lot of men are insecure about, especially when they don't got it. Because when they got it, hey, everything's good. But when they don't got it, you see another side of them. And, he already had a very nasty disposition about himself. And now it's like even worse, because he really has a reason to be upset now, even though it's his fault. The gambling and not being financially responsible, not being morally responsible, cheating on your wife. And it was good that she left them, because it's like, men would like that would want you to stay with them because they know that you could help them. Being that Cardi has the money and everything, it's like, no, leave him. Because if he's willing to cheat on you, embarrass you, and expose you to diseases and whatnot, and no. But let's see how this goes. This is just crazy. I'm telling you, ever since Takeoff passed, I mean, Quavo and Offset is just like a mess. They're a mess. Like, Takeoff was the calmest one, the most level-headed one, the one with the least drama. He wasn't into all of this nonsense. His name, I don't recall him ever being in the blogs or nothing like that. And it's just so unfortunate how his life was cut short and how it was done, brutally. I never seen the video of what happened to him, but other people have, and from the sound of it just sounds very gruesome. And they were there. They saw him take his last breath. And it's like, what kind of darkness they have around them. things ain't going good. Quavo, I mean, his career, what kind of solo artist is he? Because his music is not it. As a solo artist, no. They were better together. I don't know whose idea it was to split, but people always get big-headed when some money start coming in and the egos, they wanted to split. Takeoff probably would have been the most successful one if he was still here. And nobody paying attention to what you call it, Offset and Quavo. You know? Child, let's see how this plays out. My thing, I was like, what if the baby is really Offset baby? Like, but I'm pretty sure they did a DNA test, so that's been ruled out. So I don't know how this is going to go for Cardi. She has to pay this man money, alimony, whatever it is, split whatever it is that they had together. Let's see how this goes. He's trying to recoup. But, sir, you need to learn another way to get your money up. Because divorce is one thing. That money ain't going to come right away. And I'm pretty sure Cardi B's trying to find a way legally to wiggle out of that. Because she ain't trying to give you shit. She's like, bitch, I done put my blood, sweat, and tears into my career. And you didn't treat me good. I don't owe you shit. But, man, oh man. Let's see. Anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe. And, keep your energy up. I know there's a lot going on in the world. Who knows what's to come in the next coming months. We just all got to keep our eyes open and our ears to the streets. Pay attention to what's going on. Know what's going on in your state. Know what's going on in the country and internationally. Everything. World news and politics. Geopolitical, But that's all I gotta say. Y'all take care. Be safe. And share, like, comment, subscribe. Bye.